Welcome back. It's me, Jared, here again, your resident Doritos expert, historian, and connoisseur. I dabble in all the exotic flavors of Doritos from around the world. So today, what do we have? We have this. I don't know what this is called. It's from Korea, South Korea, obviously. And I do my Doritos research, but I don't do my linguistics research. So I don't know what this is called at all. However, I can read that it is number one. Right here, it says it's number one. So that'll be for me to decide, right? Because I am, after all, the Doritos expert. Nutritional values, I don't know. I can't read the ingredients. There are some ingredients here in English. So it looks like it has palm oil, it's got corn, sunflower oil, sugar, dextrin, an acidity regulator. Now that's good. I would like my acidity to be regulated. It's got tomato, I think that says tomato sauce, onion, salt, vinegar, bell pepper, lemon, paprika, emulsifier, and xanthan gum. All right, so it's I'm thinking it might be a little spicy. You got some peppers going on there. But if you can see what's unique about this is it looks like it has a little dip to it, like a little tomatoey dip. Could I be hopeful for ketchup? I love ketchup, so I hope it might be ketchup. So let's unpack this snack. And speaking of Korea, if you're like me, you've been enjoying the show Squid Game. I like that show quite a bit. I just completed it watching the series the other night. One weird thing about it is it kind of has a Chekhov's gun in that. I can't figure out how to open this. I'm trying not to ruin the box. It kind of has like a little Chekhov's gun device in there when the cop dude is going through the tunnel and they're like, oh, that's a bomb right there. And once the VIPs get down the ladder in an emergency, they explode the bomb. So you're kind of expecting the whole time that the bomb is going to go off at some point, right? But it never does. So I thought that was unique about the story. So we're going to find out if I would play Squid Game for a grand prize of these Doritos. So here we go. This is the box unpacked. And if you'd like, comment below with what you would play Squid Game for. Kind of like, you know, the old commercial. What would you do for a Klondike bar? So what would you do for a Squid Game? So indeed, it's got this, I love this, this little metallic pack and this little dip cup. You know, I don't love excess packaging because, you know, the environment and everything, but it's kind of, it really is kind of cute. Oh my gosh. And look, they have a diagram showing you the proper way to do this. So I think you kind of like depress pictographs. You don't have to know Korean to understand a pictograph. So I think you kind of press this down. So it kind of reminds me of Squid Game when they're playing one of the Squid Games and they have to like chip away at the little sugar treat and not make it crack. Otherwise they'll die. That's not a spoiler alert. Like in Squid Games, like if you play a game wrong, you'll die. It's kind of like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. It's kind of like dipping in. Oh, well, let's find out. So I'm going to peel this off. And kind of weird too in Squid Games. Ooh, this looks almost like a salsa. If you know me, you know I'm a super taster and I could do a salsa, but you know, some people do a big scoop and it looks like they got like, like a whole dang tomato on their salsa. I do like a discreet little tap on top and just barely dunk in the, I almost like just baptize my chip, just a little dip on there. Okay, it's kind of, I feel like this is dangerous, but we're going to give it a shot. So can you see that? There's like my dip. Oh, smells strong. Okay, so I'm going to open the sack. I'll use the hourglass method, although In this case, it's almost irrelevant because the chips were like hanging out like this in the box. So this is a little bit unconventional of a Doritos product. Okay, so, oh, whoa, wow, they don't have a pungent odor. So can you get a look? Can you see in there? That's what we're working with right there. We're working with this little sack of chips. And I gotta say, proportionally, this is less than your average size of personal size bag of chips. Less chips, more. So I kind of poured them in the box there, as you're encouraged to do to enjoy this treat. Okay, so shall we? I'm gonna, oh no, I spilled salsa everywhere, dang it. Okay, so I was gonna try a chip first, but because I made a little spill, it's your fault, I was showing you. I'm just gonna scoop it to clean it. I like to be clean as I eat. Oh my gosh. So this is more salsa than I would usually put on a chip. And I don't even know if this is salsa. Who knows? It's just a Korean style dip. Mm. Oh, wow. Okay. So the chip itself is almost like if you ever get the corn flavored tortilla, the very simple kind of, it's a little just like, I'm going to try one on its own now. Just basic. It's a chip that wants for a dip, right? Because it's hardly flavored, not spicy at all, so it's not like assaulting me. It's just a very subtle flavor, which, hey, cool. If you're going to have a dip, this is it. So my usual dip method is tap, 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 tap. You know, just barely getting any dip on there. That's how I dip. I'm a super taster. So, but that's with your average kind of salsa that people tend to put out at parties and stuff. You know, they do like chunky salsas and it might be spicy. So I just do a little tap, 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 tap. In the spirit of really exploring this, I'll dip like an earnest dip. Like I love nacho cheese. This is how I would dip if, say, this was nacho cheese. Ooh, it looks like kind of globular. It looks like something you might see in a Petri dish, like a jelly. Let me try this. Ooh, okay. Oh, we're definitely working with a international flavor here. I feel like I'm eating Korean food. Like, okay, so the dip is peppery, oniony, but not in a spicy way. Like a pepper when it's just for more like a garden fresh kind of feeling. And I appreciate that there's no huge chunks in here. As a super taster, textural experience is very important to me. So if something, like I love nacho cheese because it's one consistent kind of thing, a goopy consistency. Your average salsas, it might be like watery, then you get a giant tomato bite in there and an inconsistent flavor all around, like then all of a sudden you get a cilantro in your teeth and oh no, not good. This is fairly consistent. So I'm not going to do humongous dips like you saw me do previously. That was a bit too much, but I actually really enjoy the flavor of this dip. Pretty good. It's not your average Dorito experience. And if I was to kind of craft my own dipping experience, I'd probably get that Frito-Lay bean dip, and dip it in that. For my palate, that'd be a little more enjoyable. However, this is actually quite delicious. It's getting a little spicier as it goes, I have to admit. Spice sneaks up on you. But the average person isn't going to find this spicy, just like a superhero, like a super taster like me. Very yummy. Can you believe what they had to eat in Squid Games? Like, they had to fight over, like, an egg and stuff, and, like, at one point they just ate a potato. Take that potato, make some chips, then you got a meal, but just eating a potato? Ooh. Couldn't believe that. Squid Games, huh? All right. Mmm. Mmm. I like this, folks. It's great. Don't go out of your way to get these, but if you're in Korea, maybe you're like over there trying to like find where the Squid Games was shot, what island that was on or something. If you're in Korea and you see these, go ahead and get them. Maybe with a side of mackerel, like fresh out of a bag or something, you know? I hated how the dude like dyed his hair Doritos red at the end of the movie show. Why did he do that? Really weird. Didn't fit him either. Mmm. Mmm. Yummy. Yummy. I'm enjoying this. Mmm. Mmm. I'm really enjoying. You're just watching me enjoy this. Yummy. I honestly thought I might try the dip and it'd be too spicy and I would just like go off on just eat the chips, but these chips beg for a dip, and this dip is here, you know? This dip is right here. Mmm. Mmm. Yeah, a lot of unique things about Squid Games, you know? Unconventional things in the narrative. And people draw comparisons to Willy Wonka. Also, I saw kind of some similarities to the show The Prisoner, if you've ever watched that show. Obviously the numbers, but then also the twist of who is number one. You know, who or exactly what's up with number one, you know? Oh, and some, like, I don't know if I'm sweaty or what, but my fingers are getting saturated with Dorito dust. I don't know. Pretty good. Interesting narrative things they do, you know, like they have these parallel storylines, like the cop, and then number 456 or whatever he was, the guy we're following. You know, these unique, like you get the idea Squid Games has been done dozens of times, but in this particular Squid Game, you got unusual things happening. That's probably why they chose to make a show out of this Squid Game and not some of the other Squid Games. But, you know, it's the first time we presume that a cop has infiltrated the Squid Game. Mmm. 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 Yum. And it's also the first time that and spoiler alert, if you don't want to have Squid Game spoiled, stop eating Doritos. No, stop watching this video and go eat Doritos. But it's also the first time that the dude who invented Squid Games is like, hey, I'm going to play a Squid Game and get in there myself. So you have these these storylines happening in tandem, and you can kind of see it like, it seemed to me like, oh, their storylines are going to merge and people is going to escape the Squid Games and then they're going to blow up the whole place. But the bomb never goes off. The different storylines never merge. And the whole reveal of the cop's brother being the front man, I don't know how I felt about that. A little Star Wars-y, right? Like, I don't know. But all in all, I would say get yourself this box. And I'm down to the crumbs, folks. I'm enjoying this bag. But then again, remember, this was... I was going to say how many ounces the bag was, but I can't tell what a Korean ounce is. That's a smaller bag. So now I'm just dipping like a cluster dip. This is what you do when you are getting low to the crumb section of your chips. And, you know, what? Don't bother. Oh, they're sticking my... Don't bother dipping like a little thing like that. That'd be ridiculous. Like, what are you, a mouse? No, you do what's called a cluster dip. And you get like a fingerful. And you might want to write this down because I don't imagine myself doing a lot more dip stuff on this channel. So the cluster dip technique is get a cluster of chips and dip. And you are in danger of dipping your fingers here. So you just got to embrace the... And don't watch my channel if you don't like to watch someone licking their fingers, because I'm sorry. I'm a finger licker. I've grossed many of people out at parties when the chip bowl's there and you're grabbing chips. Not to mention dips, but I'll lick my fingers right there in mixed company. It's got to happen. I'm enjoying this. Wow. And the dip flavor, it's only growing on me. It did hit this kind of, like, there is a little spiciness. It's not hitting my ceiling of spiciness, so I can enjoy it, but it's getting a little, it's a little, like an underlining little, like a red line of spiciness. I can stand it though, but the flavor's growing on me. Little spicy, little sweet. Complex flavors, what a chef would say. No, a chef would say, oh, I'm getting notes of this and notes of that. Chefs like to talk like what they're doing is music. You got to make whatever work you do sound fancy, to justify spending your life doing it. Like that phrase, oh, it's not brain surgery. The funny thing about that phrase is, I did some research. Once you kind of like get over the queasiness of it, brain surgery is not that hard either. Everything's easy. You just got to know how to do it and then learn the vocabulary so that you sound excellent at it and make it sound complicated. But reviewing Doritos is complicated. I had to learn the history, had to eat my way to the bottom of the bag of thousands of Doritos chips. And that's why you're coming here, because I'm the expert. I finished the whole treat, folks. And I'm actually going to, I'm going to put a lid on this. I'm going to reseal this here. And I'm going to share this with my wife. She won't have the Doritos because I ate them all. But we'll dip it with something else. So I'll just throw this in the fridge. Reseal this here. Throw it in the fridge. And that's, oh my gosh. That's it, folks. I enjoyed this Korean Doritos dish from Korea. If you've tried these chips, let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed them or not. If you enjoyed the show Squid Game, let me know what you would do with all that Squid Game money, or let me know your thoughts on Squid Game. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time with another sack of Doritos.